And this evening, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will chair a high-level meeting with senior ministers, and this meeting will be held to review the situation related to petroleum, crude, power and fertilizer sectors. This is in view of the evolving situation in West Asia. Remember, the hotline is active with Iran. Prime Minister spoke to the President of Iran, and Prime Minister made his message and his stand very clear. While India throughout has maintained that it wants dialogue, it wants diplomacy, it wants de-escalation, in his phone call with the Iranian President, Prime Minister Narendra Modi emphasized that shipping lanes should be active. And we also know that External Affairs Minister S.J. Shankar also spoke to his Iranian counterpart, that is Abbas Araghchi. The focus in today's meeting is going to be on ensuring uninterrupted supply, stable logistics and also efficient distribution across the country. We've been seeing how there are ships that are coming to India amid this escalating crisis. Only today we got you reports of Aqua Titan, the Russian ship which came with Russian crude oil. We got you reports from mid-sea, and also we're telling you about how LPG supplies, for that also the government is taking steps. So far, about 5 ships contributing to India's energy sector, contributing to India's energy supplies have reached India amid the escalating crisis. But what's going to be the focus of today's meeting? To get you the latest, my colleagues are joining us on this broadcast. Mohit Bhatt is with us. Mohit, what's going to be on the agenda today? Today also happens to be the day when the Prime Minister has, achieved a milestone when it comes to his governance. 8,931 days of uninterrupted service as the longest serving head of government in India. At the same time, we are looking at a crisis where the focus of the country right now is to secure its energy needs. What's going to be on agenda today?
Well, it's an important review meeting that will be chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The top ministers, bureaucrats, secretaries from various ministries are likely to be the part of this particular meeting. The focus would be on the energy sector, specifically the crude oil, the gas sector, the power and the fertilizer. Remember, now we know for a fact that how the West Asia situation is evolving. All across the world, there is energy crisis that is being reported, and India is not untouched from that. As of now, there is no dry out reported at any LPG distribution center or at any petrol pump, but then we need to be ready. Now, ministry in various communication to the media or to the people, they have stated that situation is worrisome, but the government is taking all the proactive steps. Now, we know for a fact that within a week or few days, we have seen 2 LPG vessels carrying LPG. They have docked in India. So, but then that would be enough for just a supply of LPG for just 2 days. So, and when it comes to crude oil, we know that Aqua Titan, which initially had to go from Russia to China, that has also come to Mangalore port. Our colleagues have reported from that. So yes, the situation is evolving. The diplomacy is being undertaken by Prime Minister Narendra Modi and External Affairs Minister S.J. Shankar. We know that how the situation is very worrying at Strait of Hormuz. Still, 22 Indian vessels, many of them containing LPG and crude oil, are struck in Strait of Hormuz, and there is no further update on their movement. So clearly the situation is worrisome, and perhaps that is why Prime Minister Narendra Modi would be taking the stock of the situation. Not just the supply, but the distribution of the LPG, of the power, of fertilizers, or of the crude oil is also very important. So that all will be part of this particular meeting. What we are being told about from the sources is that the focus will be on the review of the energy sector of the country. We know that how all across the world the problem is happening. In India also, we have seen that how the situation in LPG is worrisome, and the government has again and again urged that people should not go for panic buying. The situation is under control, but then they should shift from LPG to the PNG. We have adequate PNG as of now, while the situation of LPG is worrisome. So Prime Minister will be apprised of by all of this, and then what we can expect is a statement coming in from the PMO or from any ministry that what exactly has happened. So it will be an important meeting coming at a time when the whole world is grappling with energy crisis, and India is not untouched from it. But yes, as of now, the government has maintained there is no need for any panic, and right, all that will be discussed in this particular meeting, which will be focused on energy sector, their demand, their consumption and their supply, and how exactly India will get out of this particular crisis.
Right.
Back to you.
You know, Mohit, let's also talk about what has been been happening globally, especially when it comes to the main stakeholders of the war. Donald Trump has short of a warning, and after being snubbed by allies, after him, insulting NATO, he's also gone ahead and said that if Iran does not allow, uninterrupted passage in the Strait of Hormuz, if it doesn't open up the Strait of Hormuz fully within 48 hours, then US will go ahead and will blow up Iran's power plants. And he said that we are going to start with the biggest power plant. So yes, this is a meeting that's also coming at a time when Donald Trump has given a warning, when Iran has also hit back saying that, if America targets our infrastructure, we will not spare America's tech infrastructure, energy infrastructure along, in the entire Gulf region. Then you also have Iran reiterating once again that, the Strait of Hormuz is only shut for Iran's enemies. In the midst of all this, when the Prime Minister chairs this kind of a meeting, what's the largest signal that goes out?
But Sagarika, we also need to understand that when America says that in next 48 hours, Strait of Hormuz should be open, otherwise some big action would be taken, then Iran surely will also hit back at US and their allies. Now, we see that what has happened in Ras Laffan in Qatar, it is the world's largest supplier of the LNG, and the authorities over there say that the impact that it has had will take around 5 years to rectify. And we know for a fact that how more than 45%, around 45 to 47%, if I'm not wrong, of India's LNG comes from Ras Laffan plant in Qatar. So India has been impacted by it. So clearly we are impacted by what is happening. And as I was telling you earlier, that from past many days, 22 Indian vessels are stuck in Strait of Hormuz. Many of them contain LPG, many of them contain crude oil, many of them contain fertilizers. So they are all are stuck. So when Prime Minister sits with the top ministers, bureaucrats today, a detailed debate and discussion and deliberation would be done that what exactly would be India's strategy. Because remember, those two LPG vessels that have come to our country, that will be only sufficient for just 2 days. So I may say that all those two vessels, their consumption has already been done. So we need to find out, we need to diversify our ways. And remember, ministries have been saying this, specifically the petroleum and natural gas, that we are trying to diversify our imports. We are asking for gas and crude oil from other countries like US from Australia or from Russia. And we know for a fact that how India is also buying oil from Russia. So all that would be discussed, that if the Strait of Hormuz not gets open in next 48 hours or in next week, or the war goes on for 1 month, then what exactly are the alternate plans of India, alternate plans of the government to buy energy from various other sources, specifically the LPG and the crude oil. So this will be a very, very important meeting that will be chaired by Prime Minister, and the first meeting that will be chaired by the Prime Minister officially regarding the energy crisis that is looming all across the world, specifically when it impacts India. Back to you.
So all eyes are going to be on that big high-level meeting that the Prime Minister will be chairing. Yes, the Prime Minister is constantly monitoring the situation as it unfolds in West Asia. India's hotlines are active. The Prime Minister himself has been engaging with global leaders. He spoke to the President of Iran only yesterday. Foreign Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar also has spoken to his counterpart many times in the last few days. But